Mrs. Zoran, did you happen to notice the door when you walked in? The front door?
Yes, I did.
Thank you.
All right. We are going to call the Cottrellville Township Policy Workshop meeting to order. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lori, what time is it? I need to see what time
It was 9:19.
Thank you.
The new clock up there?
It's the same one, it just says.
Yes, yes.
Okay, roll call for attendance, please.
Michael,
Here.
Sandy, here, Kelly,
Here, sir.
Ken,
Here.
Lori here. I was wondering, who's not answering?
All right. Motion for approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any public comments? Okay, moving on to discussion of various policies. All right, we have a boatload of policies, as you can see. I think with having so many policies, first of all, what are the policies that we're looking for before we waste their time going through all these? What specific policies do we want to have?
Well, I outlined what we're looking for in this document that I placed on each of your desks.
So do you want are we looking for an expense reimbursement? Are we looking for a bid policy? Are we looking for a credit card policy? What policies are we looking for?
Well,
I mean, this is outlined, but this isn't telling me what you're...
right, page 1 and 2 is what Michigan Township, well, excuse me, the title at the top of page 1 is expense reimbursements.
Okay.
It talks for various type of expenses that are allowed, such as travel reimbursement. For example, it says meals will be paid for if there's greater than 50 miles paid travel. But if there's under 50 miles, you know, it's kind of implied that it won't be. And then it talks about how we should talk about things like breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Okay, so you want us to do, sorry to cut you off, but you want us to look for something with regards to expense reimbursements?
Right, so that way things can be transparent and kept under control. On page 2, you know, it continues with the expenditure authorization for seminars, conferences, and things like that. And it actually points out in one paragraph that I highlighted, it says expenditures must follow the procedures set forth in the expenditure control bidding policies, which takes us to page 3, bids and quotes. And then it talks about the different types of sealed bids and RFPs.
So what you like about this is all the stuff that's in the pink.
Right, it's really just a fill in the blank type thing. It looks like, as Lori mentioned at the meeting on January 8th, credit card policy is not necessarily talked about in too much detail, like it is in some of these other policies. I think that might need to be either handled separately or as a part of expense reimbursement.
I think that should be in and of itself.
Okay, so what I was noticing on here is this is expense reimbursement, and then on page 3 is bid and quotes.
Yes.
Okay, so we want an expense reimbursement policy, a bid and quote policy, and a credit card policy. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anybody have any other policies they want to add? Okay, well, now so that's basically what we're looking for. Or that Michael feels that we should have.
Oh, I think we should have all the policies that are out there, but it's a
Well, I mean, of
slow
these
process.
3, are these the 3 that we're going to focus
Sure.
on within the next however long it takes?
Sure.
Does
Well,
anybody
which
else?
one of these has been an issue? Has there been has anybody not been reimbursed?
Well, my problem, the only thing that I have an issue with is the bidding quotes because I think we should have a policy so that way we're all on the same page. And I don't want Michael coming back at me saying that I didn't advertise for the right amount of days or I didn't do it this way right or that way right because every time I do it, he tells me I do it wrong. So I'd like to have a policy so
Well, I
that
don't
way-
think it's gonna matter if we have a policy or not, he's gonna say you did it wrong.
But I mean, is anybody not paid for reimbursement?
No.
Has anybody been overpaid for
We haven't had a
reimbursement?
problem with
No.
anything, but it is a good thing, it would be a good thing to have a policy so that
But we have credit cards?
we don't really have a credit card policy that
I
I'm.
just read it. In June 2004.
Yesterday was the first time I saw it,
Oh, okay.
so, but I like it. It just,
So,
I think we need to tweak it.
so we've already got it.
But we need to tweak it. It needs some tweaking.
Okay.
Okay, so with that, is everybody in agreement that we have enough policies that we're looking at here?
Yeah, you definitely could.
Does anybody want to add any more policies? Do we? I mean,
No, no.
examples. is
Well,
what
I
I'm
only
saying.
looked for one day, if you want, I can get more.
No, I think this will suffice. I mean, we have, how many do we have?
Well, you need to go through and look at the different policies they have. They have purchasing policies, they have bidding policies, they have credit card policies, they have reimbursement
Right,
policies.
that's what,
So what I would suggest, if I may, everybody sort them out into the category that they are, look through them, find the parts that you like, everybody come up with their idea of a policy, get back together, and before we get back together, disseminate again to everybody, all of them, so everybody has a chance to look at them instead of trying to sit here today, trying to go through all these. This is a lot of information and your head's gonna start swimming if you are forced to read all of it at once.
or we can just go through one today, like, look through the credit card policies.
Well, I agree with Lori. I mean, this is a ton of information. Also, one thing I should probably point out, when I was talking to Bill from Ira Township, he pointed out how there's differences between board members and department heads for their policies.
We don't have any department.
Our department heads are our
Our
board members.
Okay, I thought maybe someone like Don Chop might be in
He
it.
has to go through me.
Okay.
Can, you hand me some big pieces?
So what?
Paper clips, I got it.
Oh,
Oh, you got some?
Okay, so, any thoughts? So Michael, do you want to stay and try to go through one, or do you want to go home and sort them out and highlight the ones you like and don't, you know, the areas that you like and don't like? What do you want to do? I'm going to go down the line with everybody with regards to this question.
Well, there is a ton of information, and it probably would be better to, you know, grab a highlighter and go down the line and mark the things that we like from each one and try to reassemble them similar to the way the planning commission did with the cemetery ordinance.
What?
That's really what, isn't that right, Mr. Chartier? They looked at the other ordinances from various townships and
they reviewed
Right,
some.
that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing with these, but my question is,
Do you want
do
to
you
do it
want to
today?
start it today?
Well,
Or
we
do you want
can.
to take this information home, highlight it, and then we'll each say what we like about each policy?
I mean, if you guys have looked at any of them, why don't we mark them and, you know, we'll place special attention on those ones.
Hold on. Okay, here's what I got. And I know this will take you guys a second to put it together. These are the ones that we're gonna look at. I'll go slow. I need to go home and look at.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, I'm just dividing them up for us.
You're making me panic.
No, I'm just dividing them up because, okay, this is all purchasing too. Okay. So we have the one here from Matt Kowalczyk.
Okay.
Where is that one from, though? Before we really use that one, it probably should be noted.
This is from Matt Kowalczyk. This one right here, Michael.
I I know that he's got history in St. Clair Shores. Do you think maybe that's where it came from?
I haven't even read it yet. He's just a resident.
I'm sure
that
within the body
submitted it.
somewhere it's going to mention where it's from.
It was submitted from one of our residents to take a look at, so we're gonna,
Okay.
this is one that we're gonna take a look at. So, which is general purchasing policy.
And it does say often in here, city, so it's from a city, and we need to keep in mind that we are not a city, we don't fall under city rules, regulations, and laws, we fall under general township.
Well, that's the whole point of us going through and looking
Right,
at the home and
I'm
highway.
just making a note of that though, so if somebody's reading something in there, you need to figure out
Oh,
whether it
gotcha.
applies to us or not.
Okay, so we got that one to look at from Matt. We have the expense reimbursement policy. It's this one,
Okay?
Oh, hold on, from which?
Yours.
yours,
Oh, okay, all right.
from Michael. We have, so this to me falls all under credit card, purchasing, whatever. We have the credit card policy from East China.
What's that one?
And that's from the assignments. See it, Michael?
Oh, resolution credit card. Yeah. Okay.
And the reason, the method to my madness of doing this is so that we can list all the ones that we have, so somebody can't say that, oh, you didn't show
You
my.
didn't get it.
Right. Okay, we have,
Back to the original question, is there something wrong with the original ones that we had, that the township has in place?
I wouldn't say there's something wrong, but I think we need to fine tune it. I think we need to fine tune all of the policies that we have.
Okay.
okay, so we have the Charter Township of West Bloomfield, and credit card one. You see it, Michael? Looks like that.
Let's see, I got Fremont, I'm not sure I got. No, I don't think I have them. Oh, here it is, at the end here.
It's okay, yeah. There you go. Okay, everybody have that one? All right.
I'm sorry, which one was that?
It was the Charter Township of West Bloomfield.
Yes.
That was. Okay, they have that with, you guys, also in that one is their reimbursement, which looks to me similar to MPA, just working similar to MPA. Okay, so maybe this is a red.
Yes, it was at the back part.
Okay, does anybody have this resolution regarding the use of township credit card? That might be not. That goes with the West Bloomfield. That's just if anybody needs a paper clip. That's just showing you the resolution that you make. It looks like
West
that.
Bloomfield?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have that? It goes with this one, Michael. So you can paper clip. It just shows you the resolution you make.
Was it stapled with it?
Yeah, it was with it.
These two. Which one is this?
Or paper clip.
Is that stapled with it? I think it's this one.
Yeah, that's it.
Do you need paper clips down there?
And
Oh, this one?
there you go, yep, paper clip that goes with it. Okay, so then we have the Marine, so it's MCAFA, Marine City Fire, that's the ability,
Okay.
credit card, it's like that.
Yep.
Michael, you got that one?
Let's see. Hold on one second.
Getting closer.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I have them, just have to find it.
Okay. Who submitted the West Bloomfield? I guess it doesn't matter, anything to know.
I did.
Does everybody have it?
Okay, so now that's a two-page document here?
Yep, do you want a paper clip?
Yes, please.
Alrighty, then the credit card policy from Cottrellville.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I'm just gonna submit this one anyway, just to look at it. This is for checks issued, and that's from China Township. I'm sorry, it was China. It's just one page.
East China? Okay.
You see it, right?
Oh, wait.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Got it? Everybody got it?
So you're saying group that one with the credit cards?
I'm sorry?
Group it with the credit card? one?
Yeah. And just if somebody finds another example of this, or if you care or not care, it was just there.
But you're saying this one is for checks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was something I asked Lori about on the phone.
What was it?
It was a check policy one from East China.
Oh,
We can throw that in there if you want or not, but then I can take a look. Okay, moving on to bidding. We have the bid one from Cottrellville. Bid and quotes, I guess we'll call it.
It's over since 2000.
Right, but this is what an
I'm just
example.
letting everybody know that.
Oh,
Yeah,
gotcha.
it looks like it was the
Oh, okay.
resolution.
yeah.
That was never passed,
This one was never passed.
the resolution.
Okay, gotcha. So it was written out.
I was like, for a minute, there's like, I know that's not over here.
No, but it looks like it,
I
it's
know,
a resolution.
Does everybody have that one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. We have the bid and quotes from MTA, which would be on your page 4 of the
Okay,
credit
that's
card,
on my
so
notes.
everybody has it.
Okay.
Well, hold on, just so we don't get confused, you want to kind of tear that one away?
I already did.
Oh, okay. All right.
That's the last page of it?
It's the third, it would be the third and fourth page
Yep.
of
All right.
of Michael's MTA,
So separate pages 3 and 4 and group them with.
the bid and quotes. Alright. Do you need another paper clip or your?
Yes, well, I think it's done.
Here, there's a bunch. Or not a bunch, there's some. Okay, so then we have East China's bidding policy. East China. Do you have that, Mike?
Yep.
Everybody else?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. The Hamburg Purchasing Department.
Okay.
That's pretty easy to find. Fremont Township. Everybody got it?
Yep.
Yeah. And, Van Buren,
Okay.
and that's a purchasing policy. So, Van Buren's, that's credit cards, so that's gonna go back on credit cards, sorry. So, you got that, Michael Van Buren goes up in the credit card one. So you can just put it like on the top of your pile, so that way you don't get mixed up.
Okay.
Put it on top of your pile, and then I'll tell you where they separate when we get done with this,
Oh, okay, so,
to make it easier for you.
okay, so Van Buren is going on the one that we've been doing,
That's gonna be credit cards.
right? And then it separates at some point and goes somewhere else?
It will separate, actually, Van Buren and Lapeer credit cards. So, for credit cards.
Well, hold on, at what page does
But
the,
then I'm gonna name them off right now for you so you can separate them.
okay,
Okay, so we have Matt Cabal, these are for credit cards. We have Matt Cabal checks recommendation, we have Michael's recommendation.
hold on, I want to kind of fast.
We have East China,
Okay,
we have West Bloomfield. Tell me okay.
All right.
So we don't move on. Marine City, Cottrellville,
Well, hold on, I have Cottrellville, not Marine City.
Then the cat
that's
is,
the MCAFA.
Oh, okay, gotcha, yep.
Okay, Cottrellville. East China check policy. Then Van Buren and the Lapeer.
I don't have an East China check policy, I have an East China credit card policy.
The East China check policy is just one page. So we'll make a copy of that for you. Right down there, we need a copy. Anybody else need a copy? Everybody? Oh, you got it? Okay.
I'll make a copy.
Okay, so Michael, here's a clippy thing. Those are credit cards. Let me know when you're ready. Do you have another clippy thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Okay, so that's our, I'm sorry, I'm interrupted.
we've got our credit cards and bids one separated. And that leaves the expense reimbursement, which it sounds like,
Okay, we have a total of 9 credit card purchasing policies. Amongst you guys, I think that these should be the only ones we look at. We don't entertain any others for future discussion, that these are the 9 that we're gonna go through and condense into one. We're not gonna, the next meeting we come to, it's not gonna be, oh, here, I have another one.
Right.
I think that these are the 9 that we go through and we condense into one. We're not gonna bring any more new ones to the table.
Sure.
Everybody, because everybody had ample time here to get them together. Okay, so with that,
one question. We never assigned this one from Clay Township anymore.
yeah, that one we threw out, because that's department heads, and we don't have any department heads, so that one we're not even gonna use.
Okay.
So you can just throw it out. So you don't-
Ross, department head, supervisor, treasurer, and clerk.
Yeah, and so that one we don't even need.
What about that paragraph? Do you think that would be useful just to let people know that that's who the department heads are?
Well, if you want to use it for your notes, then, and you want to edit them, you
I
can do
think
that.
everybody knows that votes, that.
But if you want to use it, maybe it's just not.
Well, we'll look at how it's written, and
Yeah.
I'm sure somewhere in one of these policies will
Right.
outline it.
Okay, so with regards to that, the bids and quotes, we have Cottrellville's, we have MTA's. It's in the next pile, Michael.
You're referring to Michael's as the MTAs?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so we have Cottrellville, we have the MTA one, we have East China, Hamburg, and Fremont.
Okay,
Everybody got those?
I do.
Which would be a total of 5. I think that that's sufficient, everybody agree?
Yep.
So we want, these are the 5 that we're gonna condense into. Okay, so, with that being said, I think that we should take these home, or wherever, read them, come up with one credit card, one reimbursement policy. It can also be, include the credit card, so that way we can call it like credit card reimbursement policy. Well, actually, I'd rather do them separate. So the goal is to come up with an expense reimbursement policy, a bid and quote policy, and a credit card policy, if need be. If somebody doesn't feel that there's a need to have it, then there's not a need to have it. It's up to whomever. So, with that being said,
Well, I would make a request that before we meet again, that if you came up with something, that you get it to me so I can get it to everybody to look at before we meet again.
absolutely. So that's what we're gonna decide on, is when do we want to meet next? And how soon? I think if somebody has one that they think is condensed, I think the goal should be, we should all have one of these, or if you don't feel the need, then don't bring them, at the next meeting.
Okay.
Everybody bring what you think is your idea of an expense policy.
Well, get it to me before,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm getting to.
yeah.
So everybody has, so that they know what the time frame is. Everybody brings an expense reimbursement policy, a credit card policy, and a bid and quote policy that's tailored, that's set to go, that we can just make suggestions to,
Minor changes.
minor changes. So then Lori, how long would you need? You want to do it like a week ahead of time, like how we do with
Just with the agenda packets. So get it to me
Right, get it to
8
her
days before the
8 days
meeting.
before.
And then it'll be included in your agenda packet, and then you can look through everybody's, and if you like one, but you want a couple things changed, write it down, bring it up when we bring up the policy portion of the meeting, and then we can vote on it at that point in time.
I think that if we, okay, so the agenda packet, our items for the agenda packets due the 4th. So we should all have this done for the 4th to put, everybody's idea to put in the agenda packet, but we'll do another workshop.
It really needs to be another workshop, obviously.
If we put them in the agenda packet, then everybody has their one submitted. So if you don't submit one on the 4th, then you're done.
When are you talking about having this other workshop though, prior to the next
No,
meeting?
after the meeting. I think that if we have these, okay, like say I give you.
Are we not voting on it at the meeting?
If at the meeting, I thought we were going to have
that
it
what
to
you
the
guys-
point where we're voting on it, and then to have a workshop after you voted on it is.
No, I just thought that you wanted to have everybody's ideas in the packet, so that way we can have another workshop, so that you can critique what I have, I can critique what you have, so.
Oh, no, that would,
You guys just want to have it ready to go?
yeah, just have it ready to go, and if there's a problem, then we can have a workshop.
But I don't
If
want
we
to
can't come to a
have,
decision on, at the meeting.
but that's the thing, I don't want to sit there and tear these apart at a board meeting, that's not what it's for. We should be ready to vote on them at a board meeting. We don't sit there and go through.
Well, I think that we should have
I
it
agree with
submitted and let the people, let everybody comment on them before
That's what I'm
we
saying.
vote on it, prior to a
Absolutely.
meeting.
Yeah, we're not voting on them in a meeting, we're not tearing them apart.
discussing it.
We're not discussing it.
It takes too long to discuss these
We're gonna
things.
just submit it at the next meeting, let people look at it and vote on it the following meeting after that?
That's what I was trying to
Which is
say.
Oh,
March?
okay.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, 'cause, you know, I actually, when I saw this, I expected it to last so long. I even modified the recording setting. What I was going to say, we really do need to discuss this. I expect to have a kind of a combination, hopefully taking the
That's what
best
we're talking.
elements. And that prior to a vote that approves all this at a meeting, we need to discuss it and make this stuff, write it up. You know, so are we going to do that prior to the February meeting or prior to the March meeting?
That's what we were just talking about.
If,
What we were saying is, we turned it in with the packet, what your idea is. And then everybody looks through it, critiques it, and then we have just another workshop, like in February.
and then at the February meeting, we can set up another workshop, or if everybody likes how one looks, we could get it done then. So you can either make a motion on one if it looks really good and everybody's agreeable to it, then at the next meeting, we can vote it in. If
I don't
we
want to
don't
do it like
really,
that. I wanna have them set to go, and just, everybody has the one, we're not amending it. We critiqued it before, that's the whole purpose of the workshops, is we critique it before the meeting, so that way everybody has it, so at the time of the meeting, we're aware of what's on it, and we vote on whether we accept it or not.
yeah.
Then we need to have a workshop before the February.
Right.
No, we don't have to pass this, there's nothing that says that we have to pass this at the
Well,
next
then
meeting.
it doesn't need to be an agenda item. Oh, so you're just saying get it in so I can get it to everybody when you get your packet, but it's not going to be an
Yes.
agenda.
It's not even gonna be part of
Okay.
February meeting,
No.
okay.
Well, you're confusing me.
No, just get it in so that everybody has it, so then we can critique it for the next workshop. So what we're
Okay.
doing is we're cutting this down to shorter.
The only thing
Cutting it
though
down to shorter.
is, in the same way that I think it surprised us today to get all this paperwork and then realize one workshop would not be enough.
We
I don't-
already knew one workshop wasn't gonna be enough, Michael.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that.
You didn't?
No, I mean, I expected this one to be a long one that would get it done. What I think though is I don't even think a second workshop may not get it done.
Well, we're not gonna determine the future. We're just gonna
Go one step
go
at a
one
time.
step at a time, because we don't know if one, two, three, we don't know. So we're not gonna put a number of workshops, how many we're gonna have. We're just
Part
gonna
of-
go with the flow.
I'm sorry, part of the problem today is that this is the year end. I have payroll I have to finish up, I have all our tax paperwork I have to finish up, I have unemployment reports I have to fill out for the state and the federal government,
Okay.
and all of that stuff, and I have an election next month. So my
Okay.
time is very limited,
Okay, so February 4th,
and Sandy's got taxes, so.
February 4th is when everybody turns in their, whatever policy you want to set to go. That's when you give it to Lori.
Okay.
Well, now, hold on, you're saying you have to vote, or essentially turn in the one policy that you agree with the most?
No, I'm saying you critique, I want one policy from you that's gonna say,
That you
it's
want-
reimbursement, one policy for credit card, and one policy for bids.
Kind of just put down everything that you want on that.
And then everybody gets
And
to
then we're all
look
gonna
it
put
over.
together and decide.
And then I will put in mine, and Kenny and Sam, everybody will put one in, and then everybody gets to look over everybody else's.
Oh,
And
okay,
then after you look at everybody else's, you might see that there was something in there that you didn't think of, or you like how it was worded better, so you want to incorporate it into your own. And then what we're trying to do is have a goal of everybody putting in something and making one masterpiece of
Oh,
contributions.
okay, so I could potentially turn in all 5 of these, or however,
No,
with different paragraphs.
No,
Yes,
you're gonna do it though, you're
that's
gonna,
what he's saying.
no, he's saying he's gonna give you 5 different policies and show you
No.
what paragraphs.
Oh, I see what you're, oh, no.
No, you gotta type up your own policy.
Make one policy with all the things in it, not where we have to go, okay, Michael wanted this paragraph from this page, this paragraph from this page.
Right.
I'm not doing that.
It doesn't
Okay.
have to be a
Put all your
policy, it
paragraphs
just be
on
what
one
you like,
page.
too. It can be what, just what you want on a policy.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be some rough
Legal.
draft of a true policy.
No, it just has to be what you want on a policy, and then we'll combine them all together and make a legal policy.
Okay, it's just, I'm telling you, I really don't even think a second workshop will get it done, because I
Well,
work
we're
on
not
it.
gonna,
No,
we'll
take
get to that when we get there.
We should really
And we
be
get to
doing
this.
our homework before that.
Right, it's just, I'm telling you, because I was recording those planning commission meetings, and that lasted for a very, very long time.
Well, I'm not gonna worry, the one thing has nothing to do with another. That, I don't care if we have to do 6 or if we do 2, it's just to get them
Well,
done.
this has taken a long time. I mean, I've spent a lot of hours on these policies
I know.
already, and I know I'm gonna spend a lot more hours on these policies, but I don't have to make sure that everybody else has to suffer through my hours of looking at it. So, you know,
Okay, so policies are due to Lori on Tuesday, February 4th.
Okay,
And that would be your version of an expense policy.
By what time on the 4th?
noon,
Noon.
end of the deadline, or the
Now
deadline for the. That way I can get it in everybody's packet, even though we aren't going to discuss
Yeah,
it
we're not
at the
gonna
meeting.
discuss.
It's so you get it with your packets.
And then looking into February,
is that just for the expense?
no, that's.
That's for all 3.
All 3. So then I would think, what's today, Thursday? Anybody got anything going on Thursday, the 20th of February?
I don't know.
I don't know yet.
I'll be there.
Because we could do a workshop then to,
When is the election? I know it's the 20-something.
that's what I was asking you. Is it the 25th or the 18th?
It's on a Tuesday, so
I think it's
it's probably the
your
Tuesday.
taxes are due on the 18th, right?
Well,
Wait, I'm
Wednesday,
getting mine.
taxes is 28.
What's the Tuesday following the 20th?
Wait, there's the 18th and then the 25th.
25th is the election.
Okay, so would you rather do it on the 27th? So that way your election, so you don't have to worry about all that junk?
That'd be better.
Okay, you got anything? Would that be better for you? All right, so we'll do 9 o'clock on the 27th.
Of February?
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty late in the game. That's like the whole month, just, by then we might forget this stuff.
Well,
I'm
we
gonna
have
forget it
an
when we have
election
it on
and we have
paper.
taxes, Mr. Zoran.
We have it
We have
right now.
things that we need to take care of, and, you
The
know,
policies, Michael, the policies are due on the 4th of February, so everybody's gonna get their versions. So that gives people
3 weeks
3
to look
weeks
at it.
to look at it and figure out what they want to do. So at this policy workshop on the 27th, we should be able to, okay, I want to make this change, this change. Okay, we like these changes. We'll take those policies and the March board meeting, we vote on them, and then it's good to go. Because Lori has elections, she has taxes.
And I've got the tax paper.
I can't do it. And I'm not, and I have budget, so. It's, okay, let's, everybody take a vote. Does the 27th work for everybody?
At this time, it's a long ways down the road,
I agree
but
with
as
you.
of right now, let's make that as our plan.
I mean, unless you guys want to do it sooner, but it doesn't matter because we're not voting on it in the February meeting, so it doesn't matter if we do it sooner or not. We're voting on it at the March meeting.
If they're done, yes.
Right.
That's the trick. I just don't think it'll be done after the second board or the workshops.
Well, we have more pressing things that.
Then if it's not done, then we vote on it at the April.
Yeah.
I mean, if
Not
it's not
until March,
done,
it goes to April.
it's not like we have, you know, but we have, this is our busy time.
None of this is broke,
Right.
so. it's-
Well,
And that's all I can do it.
And this is an important thing for the township to have
Yeah.
valid policies that we don't have problems.
I'm not rushing it to get it on the
So
February agenda.
it's not anything we want to rush.
No,
And we're not trying to put it off, it's just that at the end of a year, a calendar year, Sandy and I for sure have major things we've got to accomplish, and we have deadlines.
And I have the budget,
And
I have the
Kelly
budget.
has the budget to start working on. So the end of the year is a pretty busy time for the whole office. Usually during the year, one of us has deadlines, but at the end of a calendar year, all three of us do.
Okay, so that's the dates. So the policies are due at noon on the 4th, and then we'll have another workshop on the 27th.
Okay, do we need to make motions and vote on these things, or is this just a?
No, this is just a discussion. Unless you guys feel like you want to vote on it.
Yeah, let's do that.
Well,
so
we might as well make it
everybody agrees on
formal before we get in trouble for something we
Right.
didn't know.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we turn in the proposed policies to Lori on February 4th by noon. Then she will disseminate that, make copies, get it to everybody with their packets, and then everybody look through it, create a new one if they need to, and get back together on Thursday, the 27th of February at 9 o'clock.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Well, what time is it again? Is the 27th one?
At
9
9.
o'clock.
I don't even know what that word is.
What?
I wrote VA down on the 27th. I'm like, what does VA mean? And I went to write workshop. Okay. So, any further discussion regarding the policies? Everybody set? We got it. We know everybody has them all. What ones we're doing. Anybody needs help with anything? Anybody has any questions? Feel free to call, or if somebody, Michael, if you want to, if you have questions and want help or whatever, give me a call. Or if you want to come in, I'll sit in here with you and go through them or whatever.
Thank
Just
you.
let me know ahead of time.
I was just wanting to ask Lori, you mentioned that election in February.
Mhm.
I didn't even know about that until I walked in and looked at it on the board there thing, that little bulletin thing. What does that deal with, and is that going to be advertised to the public?
That's RISA. It has to do with the schools, and we didn't know about it until the second week of December. So we didn't even know we were having an election until the middle of December.
Okay,
And that is, it's already out there. The county takes care of all of the advertising and all of that stuff. That's not something that falls to the individual municipalities. And the ballots out there, like you just said, you didn't know about it until you saw that.
well, one thing I'd like to mention probably isn't on any of these, was something that came up at the meeting, and I think we even had someone talk about it at the podium there. The way advertising will be handled,
That's going to be in the bids and policies, Pam.
Oh, right, but I'm talking about just in our specific area.
That will be brought up when we do these.
That's not on the agenda
That's,
for
no,
today, just these
that's,
policies.
that, I understand what you're saying, so, but that should go into your bid and policies, is what I'm
Okay.
saying. You should add advertising in.
Okay.
Okay, so just so you remember that.
Well, I was just hoping to get some of your thoughts on that.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Obviously.
Well, can we adjourn so I can
Sure,
get
yeah.
my business done
Yeah.
and you guys can discuss?
Yeah, I'll talk to you about it.
Okay.
Do you want to make, somebody make a
I'll
motion?
make a
for
motion
adjournment?
that we adjourn at 9:58 a.m.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, anyway, Michael.
Okay, so what are your thoughts on?
I'll talk to you if you turn the camera
Yes.
on. You can go into my office or in the conference room.
All right.